Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including a complete walkthrough of Tesla's new holiday update, Giga Texas ramping, the launch of Tesla Electric, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, a new Consumer Reports survey has ranked EV reliability and the results are in. They say this data is based on hundreds of thousands of car owners, and the Kia EV6 came in first with a reliability of 84. Next was the Model 3 with a reliability of 58, followed by the Nissan Leaf. One thing definitely worth noting here is that the EV6 has been around the least time of all of these cars by far, so they don't have as much data to pull from. It's great to see the Model 3 high in these rankings, but Consumer Reports frequently finds many other non-electric vehicles to be in the 80s or 90s. They say this is due to the newness of EVs. Quote, "This is due in part to the fact that the latest wave of electric vehicles ride on all new platforms, rather than benefiting from carrying over major components from existing production cars, as is the norm." As for the reliability of the Model Y, Consumer Reports says that it, quote, "still shows some suspension issues and body hardware problems associated with closing the hatch and paint and trim." Tesla and Consumer Reports have had a rocky history, so many will discount their findings regardless of if it's positive or not, but it's good to see the Model 3 among the most reliable EVs out there. Next up today, Tesla seems to be doing everything they can to sell their current inventory. Right now, we're about 2 weeks away from a new federal EV incentive being in place. For some customers, this could end up saving them $7,500 on their EV purchase, so Tesla is trying multiple ways to get customers to still take delivery this year. For the first time in a long time, Tesla's inventory site is full of Model 3s and Model Ys to choose from depending on your area. In my area, I see tons of demo vehicles and new vehicles up for sale, which is one of the only times I've ever seen a Model Y this easy to pick up. In order to incentivize customers not to wait though, Tesla first says, take delivery of a new Model 3 or Model Y in December 2022 for a $3,750 credit. They're reducing your purchase price by $3,750 to incentivize you not to wait until 2023. Over in Europe, Tesla is now doing the same, offering €2,000 to €4,000 off of a Model Y or 3 purchase that is in inventory. For this, there's actually no deadline listed, but that's up to $4,200 off, so most assume that it's to push deliveries the end of this year. And now they're adding another incentive. Multiple Tesla customers have been receiving texts from Tesla letting them know about a new incentive. On top of the $3,750 point-of-sale credit for these cars, Tesla is also offering 10,000 free Supercharger miles for vehicles delivered from now until the end of the month. The details here are that this particular deal is valid for all models. The $3,750 credit is only for the Model 3 and Y, but the Model S and X will also get this 10,000 Supercharger mile deal as well. It's valid for new titled vehicles only. The Supercharger miles must be used within 2 years of delivery or they expire, and they are non-transferable. If you're in a position where you want to buy a Tesla Model 3 or Y and for some reason you won't qualify for the upcoming tax credit, now is absolutely the time to buy. You'll have supercharging paid for your first 10,000 miles on the road, and you'll get a discount that probably won't be coming back at all in 2023. However, for many, they want to wait and see what happens in 2023 for the impending tax credit. How might a long-range Model 3 qualify for the credit if it's over the MSRP cap, and how might the tax credit bring down a Model Y price even further? We won't know for sure until January. If you're buying a Model S or X, neither are expected to qualify for a credit, so you could get 10,000 free miles by taking delivery this year. Tesla is in a weird position right now with Elon Musk frustrating many and their inventory likely filling up since people are waiting to buy. In early 2023, we should really understand more what position Tesla is in. Their production has increased and demand appears to be slowing, but this tax credit is expected to be the main driver of that. Next up today, Tesla's holiday update has officially begun releasing. Finally, the features are truly confirmed and it includes a lot of great stuff for owners. So first up in the holiday update, they have moved the media control bar. So now all of this on the right side is just me controlling title. There's no actual media controls here. It's all right here in this little box. And there are 3 cards here. So I have my media controls, I can swipe over, I can see my odometer and how many miles I've driven since last charge and all that, and then I can swipe over to see my tire pressure. This is something they used to have in the same location, but they got rid of in the last holiday update, and now they have brought it back because it's very convenient to have it right there. I also think I like this music control bar because it's here all the time, and you can bring it up and see more and control more within title, but then you can just bring it back down and your controls are right here. So I'll turn my volume down, but just to show you how it works, I would play a song over here, and now this is populated over here, and I can even see the next tracks, the recents and favorites from my account, and sources as well, so I can choose between various, including Apple Music, which is brand new, and that is something people have wanted for a long time. Apple Music gives me a QR code to scan, so I'm going to go ahead and log in with my Apple account here, and there we go. That took about 5 to 10 seconds. That was very simple. And now here is my Apple Music library. This already looks a little better than the other integrations with this top picks and all these cards right here. Definitely a very Apple integration. So I can click on this Sinatra album right here, click play. And then I think what would happen is if I close it all the way, would it come over here? No, it looks like it goes down here. I tap that and it pops up over here. So a little bit to get used to here with this new interface. And then if I want to open up music all the way, do I tap there? Yep, there we go. One of the best buttons that I've seen yet is this back button. You can actually just go back with your browsing. So let me try that out with searching. This is something I've wanted for the longest time. I'll just do a recent search here. If I click into Lonerism, let's say, and now I've chosen a song, if I go back, it goes back to my search results. Thank you. Thank you. I have requested this for like 2 years. I'm so glad this is finally here. So far, this doesn't include Dolby Atmos or anything, but I'm hopeful that they'll add that in the future. The next thing you'll notice right here is on climate, when you're on auto, instead of 10 options here, you have low, medium, and high for your fan speed. And you can adjust that while in auto and it stays in auto. But if you go out of auto, you can go 1 through 10 again. So that is not completely gone. It's just only in manual, but then auto has low, medium, high. As always, if there's a new feature that you're not sure where to access, you can go to your release notes in the software page. For instance, I don't know exactly how to set up this MyQ connected garage right here, but now I can see it's under Controls, Locks, MyQ. And this is where I'd scan the QR code from my vehicle to connect my MyQ account. I don't have one, but that's where you'd set it up. One thing Tesla added to the toy box last year was a light show, and now it looks like they've done another one, and you can schedule it. Since you would have to start it in the car and then close your doors and go outside right away, now I can actually schedule the show. And there are multiple shows. There's Carol of the Bells, which came last year, and now there's Auld Lang Syne, which is this year, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. You can choose your volume and choose exactly what time you want this to go within the next 10 minutes. One quick game that they have added to all vehicles is Mahjong, so you can now play that on your full screen if you want to. One little Easter egg here is that now under the emissions testing mode, you have a verified fart, which even has the verified checkmark from Twitter. In the Tesla app as well, they've added the ability to fart from the app, which is ridiculous. The way you do this is by customizing your quick controls. There's actually a fart, so I'm going to go ahead and change my charge percentage to fart, because that's more important. I have my window down so you can hear this. At any time now from the app, I can just click it and the outside of the car is going to fart. They've also added the ability to view the interior camera, but it won't let you turn this on if someone is inside the vehicle. So now from the Sentry Mode part of the app, I can check on all the exterior cameras as well as the interior camera. Another fairly big feature that Tesla has added here is Zoom. So I can just launch Zoom and log in and get into a meeting and use the interior camera of my car to hold a Zoom call. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to have already been logged in and click a link in your calendar that is synced to your Tesla to enter the Zoom meeting. But now I just tried setting one up myself from the vehicle. I just clicked start and it shows the little Zoom box, and right here I have start video, unmute, one participant, and end. And I noticed that I can click this box right here and I can see all my meeting details. So I'm going to send this to my wife right now. You've never been able to access this camera in any way up here, so it's pretty crazy to see this on screen. And then also I can now access it from the app. Jessica is entering the waiting room, so I'm going to admit her. How does it look and sound?
It looks fine. It's like a little washed out.
Interesting. Yeah, the thing I'm figuring, like the camera's up here and then your screen's down here, so that is a little more than usual. Like you're just seeing a lot of my head if I'm looking at the screen. The thing I'm curious about is what happens if I go into drive. So this might end the call. I'm going to go into drive. Okay. Can you hear me though? It moved to an audio call.
Yeah.
And then I go into park, and then I can click Zoom up here maybe, and then I can start video, and I'm back.
Yep.
Cool. So you can literally be zooming with audio while you're driving and then come back and do video through the interior camera. It's pretty crazy. I'm not sure how many people will actually use this in practice, but it's cool. One thing Tesla has had for a while is Rainbow Road. But they added a new option in this update that says always rainbows when auto steer is engaged. I'm going to go ahead and click that on and then go into auto steer right here, and it's a rainbow as always. One feature that Tesla originally added with the Model S and X refresh, because the yoke has touch-sensitive buttons for the turn signals, is auto turn signals, which will auto-cancel after you make a lane change. Now they've added this to all vehicles, so in settings under lights, you can go right here, auto turn signals, and turn on auto cancel. So this is a 2-lane road. I'm just going to signal to change lanes left right here, and I'll keep my hand over here. and it turned off automatically for me after that slight movement for a lane change, because it's using Tesla Vision and has all this stuff to know that it's a lane change and that it has been completed. So now I'll go back to the other side, complete the maneuver, and it automatically turns off. Very nice to have. Lastly, Tesla made some new UI updates for maps. So right here, I'm just going to navigate to Rancho Cucamonga, and you can see there's two separate cards here. And this looks a lot better to me, graphically and UI design wise, but you have two different things. You have your next steps, and you can open this up to see all of your upcoming steps. And then right here is your card with other information. This is where you would add a stop, edit your trip settings, and it tells you how much time is left and everything. The biggest feature added to the refreshed Model S and X comes with Bluetooth controller support and Steam integration. Quote, access the Steam store directly from your Tesla. Buy and play immersive games that have been verified on Steam Deck. With Steam's cloud synchronization, resume your game from your Tesla or any Steam device. To access Steam, tap the application launcher Arcade. Tesla shared a teaser of this, and Elon Musk tweeted saying, quote, you can play Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, and thousands of other games in your car with an epic sound system. Even works with keyboard and mouse. However, in classic Tesla fashion, quote, this feature is available on Model S and X year 2022 plus with 16GB DDR memory and requires premium connectivity. So actually, the Model S and X, when first launched and promised to be capable of AAA gaming, wasn't. Apparently, until February of 2022, Tesla shipped those cars with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, meaning they are not able to run this new Steam integration. So my Plaid Model S won't be getting this feature, and that's pretty frustrating for a lot of customers. While this Steam integration is cool, it's really only for those buying the Model S and X this year after February. However, again, in classic Tesla fashion, there should be a retrofit. Zach tweeted at Elon and said, quote, but doesn't work on most 2021/2022 Model S and X, only super new ones. Will a retrofit be available? Elon Musk said yes. The timeline of this is completely unclear though, but as far as I'm concerned, Tesla will need to retrofit these cars for free. They marketed this car as capable of playing AAA games. This feature took a while to arrive in software, and now it's here, but the very cars they delivered at the event where they showcased Cyberpunk 2077 being played don't have the hardware to play it. I really hope that retrofit becomes available soon because I'd love to check this feature out, and they promised it on the Model S and X since the refresh. I'm personally excited about most of these changes, and it's great to see a feature-filled holiday update improving the user experience of millions of cars already on the road. It should be pushing to all Teslas shortly. Next up today, for the longest time we've known that Tesla is involved in electricity more than their electric cars. They make Tesla Solar, Powerwalls, and more, and we've seen them push forward with their virtual power plant. This allows Powerwall owners with excess energy to sell it back to the grid when it's needed the most. Long term, this could have a huge impact for blackouts, but Tesla is taking this one step further. They have officially launched their electricity service called Tesla Electric, officially becoming an electricity retailer through Powerwall owners, and they're starting with certain markets in Texas. Instead of reacting to events with the virtual power plant, Tesla is actively and automatically buying and selling electricity for Tesla Powerwall owners. One big part of this is that it provides a buffer against peak pricing. Tesla's description says, quote, solar and Powerwall can help you and your community accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. With Tesla Electric, your Powerwall automatically decides when to charge and when to sell electricity to the grid. Together with other Tesla Electric members, you can maximize the value of your solar energy while using your Powerwall storage to add more renewable electricity to the grid. You can also achieve your own sustainability goals when importing electricity from the grid, as Tesla Electric offsets your usage with energy from 100% renewable sources. The cycle is illustrated on the website as such. The solar energy you produce powers your home, your excess solar is shared with the grid when prices are high, earning you bill credits. The rest is stored in your power for later use, powering your home or the grid when prices are high. Tesla Electric then sources renewable energy for you when you need it. They actively track energy prices and sell your stored energy when prices are high. Ultimately, it could be another piece that makes owning Tesla and solar a no-brainer in many areas. As expected as well, it's fully integrated into the Tesla app, and it's letting you know whether you're using your own energy or Tesla sustainable power. Another thing worth noting is that the sold energy ends up in bill credits, but they roll over or you can redeem them for cash once a year. Tesla has talked for a while about becoming a global distributed clean electric utility, and they're starting with Texas, where this is very very much needed. Long-term, Elon Musk has said this could outgrow their automotive business, so it will be very interesting to watch develop over the coming years. They're starting first in Texas, and I imagine they'll proceed in California and other markets where Powerwalls are popular if all goes well. It does seem that this requires Powerwalls, so expansion may be dependent on that, but we could very well see them expand in markets deploying megapacks and more long-term. It's the small start of something that could be very big. Next up today, Tesla has hit a big milestone over at Giga Texas. That factory has taken longer than expected to ramp up, but now they have reached a production rate of 3,000 Model Ys made in a single week. We previously heard that Tesla had reached a run rate of 1,000 vehicles per week in Texas, but now they tweeted a photo saying Giga Texas hits 3,000 Model Y builds per week. Congrats, Tesla team. This means that in a year view, they're at an annual run rate of 150,000 vehicles. It's not quite as much as their previous goal to close out 2022, but some have noted that this could have to do with the tax credit delays we talked about earlier. Recent reports have said that Tesla is planning to produce as many as 75,000 Model Ys within Q1 of 2023 alone. This would mean a run rate of 5,000 per week throughout the whole quarter, a significant increase over 3,000. Quote, 5,000 units per week is generally Tesla's goal for volume production and where Tesla wants to be with the Model Y at Giga Texas before moving its focus to Cybertruck production. In 2023, Tesla will be past any customer delays due to the tax credit, and their vehicles should be up to $7,500 cheaper for customers, so a big increase in production makes a lot of sense. They may truly be able to catch up on long-term Model Y demand before they launch the Cybertruck, hopefully in mid-2023. We recently saw a leaked photo of the Cybertruck body at Giga Texas, so many are hopeful that we will truly see that vehicle enter production within the year. Next up today, a new report is claiming that Tesla's next factory may be in a location previously unexpected. Elon Musk has said that Tesla may announce their new factory location before the end of the year, hinting at Canada, Indonesia, and others, but a new report is saying Tesla will soon announce their new factory location as Mexico. Tesla has reportedly acquired land in Nuevo Leon, Mexico. This comes after Tesla struck a deal to have its own lane at the US-Mexico border, which left a lot of mystery. The new report says, translated, quote, Tesla will come to Santa Catarina. The investment will be finalized in the coming weeks. After the end of the year, it will be announced. The commitment is that it must be completed immediately after the start of 2023. We know that it will generate employment and it will be located in the only area available, which is west of the municipality. It is not possible to inform more because there is a confidentiality contract. One important thing to note here is that while this report says Tesla will build a factory there shortly, the type of factory is unknown. It could be for batteries, solar, the Tesla bot, megapacks, or for vehicles. In any case, we should get more details before the end of the year, and it will be interesting to see this develop. Ford builds the Mach-E in Mexico, so maybe Tesla will follow suit. Last up today, some updates about other automakers. Toyota has had an interesting introduction to EVs. They have stalled more than other companies in creating an EV, and then their first EV, the BZ4X, has been doing remarkably poor. It seems to function all right, but lacks a few major necessities for an EV, like DC fast charging when it's cold. It has also recently been tested delivering very bad real-world range, and went through recalls for the wheels falling off. Clearly not a great first dedicated EV to compete with Tesla and others, but Toyota appears to be realizing this. A new report says that Toyota is reconsidering their rollout of EVs. Quote, insiders admit they could have undercalled the worldwide move to electrification. Toyota is now considering work on a dedicated electric platform for future models, instead of relying on its eTNGA platform, which was converted from gasoline vehicle architecture. This was meant to make manufacturing easier, but it brought, quote, a compromise that limits the automaker's ability to deliver factory floor innovations that Toyota engineers now recognize as key to Tesla's strength. Reportedly, Toyota is looking for ways to accelerate production while delaying other upcoming models. Quote, Toyota is expected to outline adjustments to its electric vehicle strategy to key suppliers early next year as it races to narrow the gap on price and performance with industry leaders Tesla and BYD, two people with knowledge of the work said. The changes they are looking to make would come with successors to the BZ4X and Lexus RZ, their first true EVs. Over at Ford, they have unfortunately increased the price of the F-150 Lightning. The truck now starts at $56,000, which is over $15,000 more than the originally announced starting price. Clearly, supply issues are getting to Ford as well, now that they're truly in the weeds of EV production. Ford increased prices by $6,000 to $8,000 back in August, increased the base price to $52,000 in October, and now has increased the base Lightning another $4,000. That's a 40% increase since the launch of this truck. Worth noting here, this most recent increase is for the base model. Quote, the prices of the other versions of the F-150 Lightning haven't increased with this update. The cheapest way to get a Lightning coming with the longer range extended battery pack is still the XLT, starting at $81,000. This price increase comes right as Ford is expected to significantly ramp up production, adding a third shift to its assembly plant. On top of this, a new report says that Ford is potentially working on an EV battery factory in the US in partnership with CATL. Over at Rivian, they pushed a new software update which for the first time has increased range. Tesla has done this in the past, and it's one of the great benefits of a car that receives over-the-air updates. Efficiency can be improved upon, and Rivian's models have gained a good amount of range here. Instead of a top range of 314 miles on the R1T, Rivian's website now shows 328 miles. That's a 14-mile increase. It will increase for all wheels, but the estimates are less clear because other wheels get less range. For the R1S, that vehicle has increased from 316 miles to 321 miles. That's a 5-mile increase. At the same time as these improvements, Rivian has been removing many of their add-on accessories from their configurator. Instead of them being configured as part of the vehicle, they will simply be available to purchase in the gear shop, and Rivian says they'll match your original pricing. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the latest for energy innovations, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.